What is going on, everyone? Or should I say, what is going on, Mina-san? I think that might be the best thing. We could do a little bit of hybrid, a little bit of Japanglish. What was it? Sumimasori. Sumimasori. Just combine the two. That's the cool. Anyways, in the right hand corner of the map, spawning as the blue Freya player. His name is Asem. His opponent today in the red, playing as Amaterasu. A nice little wooden building here, a little bit wooden statue. This looks great. It's one kitten claw, also known as Nyan Racing Cat, as he opens up with a little cheeky shrine here right on top of his hunt. I think this is what you want to do. There's two options here with Amaterasu, which are better, way better than any other option. Option number one is to drop it on the gold. If I can get it on the gold and on my wood, I'm really happy. Option number two is on my food. If I can get it on the food and the wood, I'm really happy. But then, you know, I think if I have to pick between just gold and just food, it might be best to just go with food, because look at this. As the units here are gathering their food, I don't think you get extra here. All of the animals that are left just hanging out, they're getting extra food in. And this can end up amounting to a fairly significant amount, of which Nyan is actually missing out on, as he did not put the shrine right on top of the hunt. So, I mean, it's a trade-off, right? Are we going for some longevity here with this shrine? Are we trying to get the maximum amount of favor possible? Are we trying to make our base look as pretty as possible? You know, those are all the decisions you have to sort of make when you're working things out. Now, another thing here is you can note, Nyan has not even dropped a mining camp yet, because with Amaterasu, you end up getting yourself 1 gold a second from the very start of the game. So, unlike Tsukiyomi and Susanoo, Amaterasu effectively starts the game with an extra villager on gold, which is, it's more than an extra villager. It's an extra villager and 1.5 or 0.2 of an extra villager. So it's a lot. So she kicks off the game with a very big advantage. Going to be getting herself that second Miko out through grabbing the technology here and looking to move forward. On the other side, I know I'm probably going to be ignoring a lot of whatever Asem does, but he's dropping the temple down. He's playing Freya. He's opening up with a nice stock standard build. He's got himself pickaxe, dropping himself the temple. I imagine he's going to grab a hand axe next. On the other side here, we are seeing Mina Katatomi. And this is the one that gives you access to the one Yudo, which gives you which is the head dude. But in classic Nyan Racing Cat fashion, he's doing something silly. He is doing something very silly. The question is, what is the elo? But both of these players are top players. They will be in the top 20, top 30, top 40-ish of the ladder, basically. So yeah, they're very strong. But yes, Our Amaterasu player here has said, you know what would be fun? What if I just go and attack my opponent with a whole bunch of Miko? And he's chucking this one down, and this is the Shrine of the Hunt Rush. As he drops it down immediately, he spawns in a whole bunch of wolves over here, and then all of a sudden, Asem is in trouble. Look at the damage onto the dwarf. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 4 Mikos and a dream on top of the temple just outside of town center range here. Going to be losing one of those Mikos unless he's careful, and then he just heals it straight back up. Now, the one thing here you can do against this is these wolves are not that strong. Hersa, completely fine against this. But in the archaic age, I'm sorry, you need a little bit more damage. Classical age, you got to get there. Very late advance here from Asem, meaning he's now in trouble. He's about to get to the classical age through Ulla. He's up on this position here. He's found another gold mine, sending his dwarves all the way up there. It's already kind of been spotted. I imagine there might be a stable up. Now, there's a dojo. We've already got the samurai coming through as the temple will end up getting taken down. And Asem is in trouble. Our very first cast of the game, and certain someone has said, you know what I see? I see potential as a very quick Asgardian Hillfort getting dropped onto this position. However, Asem does not have the unit to deal with this. He might be able to win this fight. That one samurai, but he's got access to Solar Shield, and he's about to drop it. Surely Solar Shield. He doesn't drop Solar Shield. Hello? Now we bring the Gullibursty to come over here in order to try and get the Asgardian Hillfort up. The Mikor getting involved as the Gullibursty is panting, trying to get up onto this position. We've got one Mikor down. One Mikor down. Do they have bonus damage versus towers? They do not. Trying to heal them up. Still has not used the Solar Shield. So he's thrown away not one Mikor, not two Mikor, but 4 Mikor, which is an obscene amount that you might think, you might say to me, right? You go, boy, it's just 50 resources. They're not that expensive. They're not that, like, he lost, yeah, 200 resources. You don't want to lose 200 resources. It's not that big. It's not 200 resources. It's 200 resources plus it's all of the villagers that he could have had out already. Look at the villager differential. It's 19 to 16. So while Nyan has managed to get a decent amount of damage done, and he's in this main base and he's causing problems for SM and all the other good stuff, I don't actually think he's that far in front right now. I don't think he's that far in front. However, a tower will fall in the main base. Now there is also Asgardian Hillfort up. A marker coming down as well for Asem. See if he's going to drop a talent center or something. On the other side, you can see there's only a handful of samurai out. There's a handful of Onnamusha as well. Going to be moving up here. There's a nice little relic there, the Titan's treasure. But we'll see. As you're now going to see a talent center for SM. He has quelled the storm. That is a early game problem. You guys thought Japan was going to struggle in the early game to myth units and stuff. Mr. Kitten Claw, Mr. Nine Racing has got other ideas for you. Now, there is a lot of hunt in this main base, though. Like, if you just send over like 4 Herser here, clean up the wolves, then you can take out the Shrine of the Hunt, and you can just eat all of this hunt in your main base. And that's going to be really, really nice. The people want the cosplay with the Japanese cast. So I don't have it in me. I can't I can't even cosplay. What am I supposed to wear? I don't have any Japanese clothing. Come on. Nonetheless, we now see a Kumiki technology coming through, which is going to make the ranged soldiers cheaper as well as siege weapons, so he can't build any of those just yet. But he will be wanting to make some Yumi archers in order to deal with throwing axemen and things like that, and dealing with berserks as well. And he's going to charge in here and try and take out another tower. As all of these samurai, they hit hard. I mean, there's, like, if you think about it, there's literally, there's 8 here, but that's kind of like there's 16 hoplites just wailing away at this house. That's kind of a big deal. As Nyan's going to retreat. We've got the walls up over here. And all the other good stuff. Meanwhile, a longhouse coming through for SM. And he's just trying to wall everything up. I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and just grab another town center. He's already overtaken the villager lead. Doesn't yet have himself a longhouse. Now he does. Now he can start making those throwing axemen. But realistically, given the amount of samurai that are out here, oh god, surely he wins that fight. That's so many berserks. He will be able to snipe one. But you need a lot of throwing axemen to actually deal with this amount of samurai. Now, they are quite slow at 4.2 speed, but you do need a lot of throwing axemen here to deal with these bad boys. So a whole bunch more longhouses, a whole bunch of villages on wood, and you're good to go. However, on the other side here, it looks to me like Nyan is saying it's time for the heroic age. He doesn't yet have an armory up, but if you look at the resources, his floating food, he's got the gold coming in nice and quick. And I think that might be his next aim, as now Stone Walls is through for SM. And, well, maybe he's not going to the next stage. I mean, it looks like he is. He's got the food. It's no armory, no marker. I don't know what he's doing with those resources. Nonetheless, he's looking for a bit of an attack coming up onto this position. The big weakness right now for SM is he doesn't have Ghoul and Bursty. So this town center would normally be really, really good with a hill fort, walls, but it's just a town center. There's no Ghoul and Bursty to scare you off. There's no throwing axe. Well, there's only a handful of throwing axemen here, and there's these Yuumi archers, which some people have been saying, you know what, the Yuumi archers, you know, they're not that good. That's what I've been hearing. But when you get the upgrades, especially when you're going through Minakatatomi, I think these guys hit pretty hard. Like, you get an extra 10% damage. He's got that Bow of Huang Di. Where's the upgrade? This upgrade, is it Hunter's Bow or something? Hunter's Strength. Which gives an extra 10% damage and some extra range. Yeah, those guys are starting to slap. They're starting to slap a lot. Nonetheless, Nyan coming up to the top is another town center trying to come up here. Sem is just trying to get his economy online. I think he might be overestimating the strength of Freyr without these god powers. Normally the strength is, well, if I get some damage, if I get some value from Ghoul and Bursty, if I get some value from my Hill Fort, if I get some value from Tempest, then all of a sudden we're good pretty much no matter what. But in this situation, Assem is not getting that. He's sneaking around onto this side. He might try and grab the town center over here. Up onto this position here, he can start actually shooting those dwarves on that gold mine from range outside of that 22 range from the hill fort there as well. And nonetheless, a couple of units actually going down. He does decide to turn around, take this fight. Those Draugr getting pushed back. There's a lot of favor in the bank right now for Assem. He might be wanting to spam these out. He also might decide, you know what's better than Draugr? Maybe making a couple more hill forts with that Ring Oath technology. But nonetheless, the wall here for Assem getting broken down. And Nyan Racing Cat says, I'm ready. Let's take this position down. But the backline here falling, meaning the Thrown Axeman will get some good damage done. The town center over here will be about to finish up as Assem is just trying to greed his way back into this game, which is a perfectly valid, reasonable way to play here. The other way would be to look for raids. You know, break through this wall, kill off these villagers. He's also knocked down this Shrine of the Hunt, so he's got food in his main base as well. Going to be skyrocketing where that's concerned. But the way that he's playing here is basically you're playing against counter infantry, archer sort of comp. So you just want to make throw an axeman here. And some Huskal basically is the main towns that are now going to be taking some serious damage. The Infernal 1 Udor are now in as well, as they're going to be breaking through this. As the units from Assem to pull back up to the top, getting chased away. Those 1 Udor are very scary here. The wheels of death, of doom and destruction, as the town center for Assem will end up falling. And Nyan Racing Cat is all over this position. Assem now says, all right, let's try and get Heroic Age, because if I just need something. Maybe getting Heroic Age and maybe getting some more stuff is going to be great, but he has lost a lot of villagers there as well. More villagers going down, as Assem says, I better convert those into Berserks to at least get something alive and away from here. But now the village differential is in favor of the Amaterasu. And look at this. He's now hit the next tier of Bushido, which means he's got heavy samurai. He's got heavy archer. And he's also got heavy cavalry if he feels like going into the cavalry. Meanwhile, up onto the top, longhouses coming up, villages very much stuck in this position. He does have the town center on the bottom here, trying to make get a little bit of gold here. This one samurai is going to be cleaning Berserks. It's just not the unit you want at this point. There's the stone gate getting knocked down. We've got some longhouses coming through here for Assem. Check out the damage. These guys, yeah, they're nearly done 3,000. There's 3,000 damage on those one Udor. Obviously, that's like building damage as well, which isn't really worth as much as the Tempest gets dropped down. Throwing Axeman charging in. Nyan says, oh, I better run. I don't even know if he needed to run here. He's got so much more stuff than Asem does, but a little bit of value here for Asem as he's desperately he's trying to get his way back into this game. He can move up to the right side now, clean this town center up, and keep on trying to lock Asem. But now Asem's going to move back into the main base. A couple of units here just hanging out. He can take those out, maybe drop the town center down as well. Get himself a whole bunch of upgrades. He can stay one town center here as well now. He's in the heroic age. But he's going to be losing this town center. And while it's a 5 villager differential, I mean, the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm like, maybe, just maybe, because of the fact you're in the heroic age as the Frere, you can just stay 2 TC, put that as Guardian Hill Fort over here, or a fortress over here, Hill Fort, just a regular one, to defend this gold mine. And maybe, just maybe, you're okay. You don't need this town center. You just need to get to full pop and get heavy infantry and get your throwing axemen. But realistically here, Nyan is probably going to be thinking about heading to the heroic age relatively soon, which means access to the I can't remember what they're called. Oyumi. I need to know. I'm trying to learn it. I'm right. Oyumi. There you go. You can get those crossbows, siege crossbows in, and actually start breaking this sort of turtley Asem down. But so far, Asem, a valiant defense. He's still kicking in this game, though definitely behind. But I mean, with Freyr, it's one of those gods. I don't really know how it does versus Japan in the late game, but if you can get to the late game with Freyr, that's always a good position to be in. The worst siege unit in the game. I mean, yeah, you can block the projectiles with stuff in front, but you just kill those buildings. It's a siege weapon. You just kill it all. Anyways, Stonegate going down. More longhouses. Asem just can't get units out. He's behind by 2k military resource value. He needs units. The rock giant is going to be huge because it's going to be able to taunt those samurai into not attacking anything else, which is going to be really, really important. Any amounts, a little bit of damage here that Asem can get is going to be absolutely gigantic, as the town center for Asem does end up falling. Villagers going down over here. We are going to be seeing the Huskal coming up. 3 Huskal versus those Yumi archers. 5 Huskal versus those Yumi archers will be enough, but he can block those off there with those samurai. Another thing here that Asem desperately is going to be needing is a couple of Godi to deal with those one Udor. Because these guys, they have, while they aren't doing any hack damage or pierce damage, they're doing crush, so it's not that much damage. They do 4.5 damage over time. Area damage over time. And with Hellfire, this is doing divine damage. So yeah, it doesn't do a crazy amount of upfront damage, but the damage over time is where the pain starts coming in. If you've got 3 of these guys hitting an area, you're probably doing, I don't actually know how much damage it is, but normally that divine damage is not 1 divine. It's more like 5 divine damage or something over time. I haven't got my tooltip just yet from Loggy. I don't know if it's fixed or not, but I'll have to check it out. Anyways, Town Center finished up there for Asem. He's still trying to keep himself going. We are going to be seeing a Town Center for Nyan now. He has gone up to the heroic age through Raijin, which will give him access to the Raiju, which is really, really cool. This guy is a absolute machine of a unit. In fact, you really want to be spamming this one out if you can. There's a town center coming up here, and we've also got some of those Naginata riders coming through to say, excuse you, let me cause some problems, as another town center comes through. And Nyan is finally actually taking some of the advantage that he's managed to gain and converting it into the economy. He's sniping some dwarves. Town center over here going to be going down. Asem getting closer and closer to population here. But can he beat this army is the big question. Sooner or later, these samurai are going to be turning into champion samurai as well, of which Assem is not close to the Mythic Age, so he's not going to be able to get to champion unit, so he kind of needs to take a fight. Never mind, they just turned to champion samurai. So, now, Assem, while he does have an armory advantage, to some degree, he's got a nice armory advantage coming, he is behind in terms of line upgrades, as Nyan has just been getting value after value with his samurai in this game. One thing he hasn't used just yet is that solar shield. I'm not exactly sure what he's waiting for. There's also this thunderburst, which can make things very, very tricky for you to actually engage, as Assem's just like, all right, you killed my town centers again. Let me just put them back up. We'll be slow. We'll get it fixed. It's fine. But village is going down over here. Champion Naginata Raiders in the heroic age. He could have still been in the classical age and had these, by the way, as those samurai are just going to say, you know, Huskals, you are not that scary. I can kill you very quickly. As now the backline falling has to retreat into the town center. And we do see another Bergrizi coming through. There are a hefty amount of these on the Musha, though. And these guys are probably... No, not probably. These guys are the best anti-rock giant in the game. The best anti-rock giant in the game. And there's the Thunderburst coming down. All of the taunts coming through. Assem not trying to retreat out of here. He is taking huge damage from this Thunderburst. It might not look like it, but every single time he gets hit by that, that's like damage onto every single one of those units. And Assem's army melts. He taps out, and Nyan Racing Cat comes in with an incredibly strong victory over the Frere God. I like this strategy. I don't think it's very good, to be completely honest. I think Assem here played directly into this. He didn't know this strategy exists. Nobody knows this stuff exists at this point. But the Shrine Rush, how do you beat this? I mean, you see it once and you're going to know. Well, if I just advance at a reasonable time, let's say 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and I have 3 Hersir out, you drop the Shrine of the Hunt on me all you like. I'll just wander forward with my Hersir and I'll kill all the wolves. I'll kill your Shrine of the Hunt. I'll take the deer. Thank you very much for the food, and I'll see you later. Those Miko aren't going to be doing anything. But a hilarious strategy here, day one from Nyan Racing Cat. And I can't wait to see more of the shenanigans. Now, let's talk about this strat, because I don't think this is going to work versus Norse. I don't see it. I don't see it. However, what could it work versus is the big question. I'm thinking Atlantean is going to struggle versus this. You don't have any heroes right off the bat, right? You're going to have to build the barracks. You're going to have to build the Murmillo hero. And by then, guess what you're going to have as the Amaterasu player? You're going to have Onnomusha. You're going to have Samurai. You're going to be there ready to defend it. So there's some very exciting stuff against the Atlanteans, perchance. Maybe against the Greeks. I mean, they've got Jason, Heracles. They've got heroes. It's not going to work against Greeks. Don't try it there. Against the Egyptians, they've got ranged heroes. Priests are really cheap. I don't think it's going to be too good versus them. So maybe you can catch a greedy Norse player out. Maybe you can get some value against an Atlantean player. Give it a try and see what happens. But the early Miko is hilarious from Nyan. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure you hit that follow button, that subscribe button, and all the other good buttons. And I'll see you guys in the next game.